Hello, good morning everyone. Hope you all are good and you watch video lectures every day, and I hope you have been doing your homework on regular basis. We have been doing chapter 6, that is retirement or death of a partner, I think from past 10 to 12 days. We've had an introduction about the chapter in the very first lecture. Thereafter we have started with the long sums. We have also learned about the steps for solving a long sum in the second lecture of this chapter, and thereafter almost we have done 4 to 5 long sums, and I have also given the similar kind of sums in homework, and I hope you are doing it on regular basis. If you have any sort of doubts, you can write in the comment section. We'll be happy to solve the same. So, the title of the chapter, it says retirement or death of a partner. Now, if you remember, so far the sums done are only about the retirement of a partner. In each and every sum, it was clearly mentioned that so and so partner has retired on so and so date. But in today's lecture, we are going to study about the death of a partner. That is, what are the changes taking place in the partnership form due to death of a partner. Yes, this is our topic for today. So far we haven't learned about this topic, and this is for the first time we are going to deal with the sums of death of a partner. Yes, you should watch this lecture till end for complete understanding. So as I said, the topic for today is death of a partner. So far we have learned about retirement of a partner and we have solved the necessary sums. Yes? So the topic for today is death. That is, when the partner, one of the partners, meet death. Say for example, there are 3 partners, that is A, B and C. Yes? So now, the instruction in your sum says that C died. Yes. So far the sums done instructed that C retires. It could be any partner, but just for the sake of understanding, we have considered it as A, B and C. Yes? So generally what we used to do is that we used to solve the entire sum as per the steps that I have taught you in the second lecture of this chapter. Yes, and at the end what you are going to, what do you do is that you total retiring partner's capital account at first, and what do you do about that amount? You will pay in cash, either you will keep it as a loan. But what about the partner who meets death? Whom you are going to pay in that case? Because that partner does not exist now. Yes? Obviously, because the partner has died. So the amount is now to be given to his heirs. Yes? And this procedure is carried out by the executor. Now these are the 2 new words. The heirs is, if I want to explain this in Hindi, that the amount will be given to the heirs of a person, that is वारिस. उनके वारिस को उनका जो अमाउंट ड्यू है फर्म की तरफ से वो दिया जाएगा. An executor is a person appointed to carry out the legal procedure of the will of a person who meets death. Yes, so in today's lecture we are going to learn all about this, that how to deal with the amount payable to the partner who died. We already know how to pay the amount to the retiring partner. We have learned this in the previous sermons. But we haven't learned a single sermon about death of a partner. Yes, which is our today's topic. Yes, so we are going to learn about determination of amount payable to the deceased partner and payment to his executor. Executor, as I said, is a person appointed to carry out the legal procedure of a will. Yes? Fine then. Here we are supposed to understand a little bit of theory before we proceed with the sums of death of a partner. Yes? Pay attention on the screen and to what I am reading. It says, yes, of course our topic is determination of amount payable to the deceased partner and payment to his executor. So we are understanding that what is the amount payable to the partner who meets death and whom is it payable. Yes? The retirement of a partner normally takes place at a planned date, but the death of a partner may occur any time. This is very simple to understand. Say for example there are 3 partners and one of them is going to retire. So a date is planned accordingly for this purpose. Yes? But what about death? We do not get any notice. We cannot plan our death. A person cannot plan death. Yes? It occurs suddenly. It can occur any time. So, how to deal with the accounting procedure of partnership firm in such a case? So they say, when a partner dies, his heirs are entitled to receive the amount due to the deceased partner. Obviously, if a partner meets death, the amount is to be given to his heirs. उनके वारिस को वो अमाउंट दिया जाता है for a better understanding. Yes? The heirs of the deceased partner are also entitled to receive the share of profits of the firm from the beginning of the year to the date of death. Now, say for example, the accounting year has started on 1/4/2015 and the partner meets death after 6 months of the same. Yes, of course it was not planned. Yeah? So, the amount of profit from the beginning of the year till the date of his death is to be calculated and is to be given to the deceased partner, to the heirs of a deceased partner. And also interest on capital, salary, etc. as well. The heirs of the deceased partner are entitled to receive the following. So now we are talking about the balance to be paid to the heirs of the deceased partner, the one who has died. The very first thing is the amount standing to the credit of the deceased partner's capital account and current account. This simply means the balance of capital account and current account of deceased partner. Yes, the credit balance. This will be mentioned in the question and this is to be paid to the heirs of deceased partner. Then, His share of accumulated profits and reserves. This could be general reserve, workman compensation reserve, investment fluctuation fund. Of course, you know this. What do we do with this? We distribute this among all the partners in old ratio. Yes? So here the partner has died, still the amount is to be credited. Just the way you pay to the retiring partner, the amount is to be paid to the heirs of deceased partner, just because that person is not now in existence. तो ये सारा अमाउंट आप उनके वारिस को देंगे. Further, his share of profit of the revaluation account. Of course, when you balance revaluation account, the result is profit or loss, whatever it is to be transferred to the deceased partner's capital or current account. Then of course his share in the goodwill of the firm, just the way you pay to the retiring partner, the amount of goodwill is also to be given to the deceased partner. His share in profits of the firm from the beginning of the year to the date of death. We have understood this in the paragraph given. I just explained by giving you a simple example that if the accounting year has started on 1/4/2015 or 16 whatsoever, and partner meets death just after 6 months, then his share in profit is to be given to him from the date of the beginning of the accounting year till the date of his death. Then interest on capital up to the date of his death, if provided by the partnership deed. What is partnership deed? It is given in the very first chapter of part 1. Partnership deed is an administrative constitution of partnership form. Every important detail in relation with partnership form is mentioned in partnership deed. Yes? Then his salary or commission up to the date of his death, if provided by the partnership deed. Loan given to the firm and its interest up to the date of his death. For now, we are understanding a bit theory concepts. So when these concepts will be actually applied in the practical sums, the things are going to be more clear. So you should not worry for now. Yes, this is just an overview to the concepts that are going to be applied in the practical sums regarding death of a partner. So please not to worry. Just try to understand the things explained. So the last point says that if the partner had given any loan to the firm, is to be returned to him, and also the amount of interest is to be given to that particular partner, deceased partner, up till the date of his death. All these points are going to get applied practically in the sums. So you should pay attention to this. Alright, so this was all the amount that is to be credited in deceased partner's capital account. Now let us see which amounts are to be debited to his capital account. The very first thing is debit balance of current account, of course, is to be debited, and his share in the loss of revaluation account, when it is profit, it is to be credited. We just saw here in the third point, his share of profit of the revaluation account is to be credited, and here if you will see second point, his share in the loss of revaluation will be debited. His share in accumulated losses. Now what is accumulated loss? If you remember, while solving long sums in old balance sheet, and on debit side it is mentioned profit and loss account, that you are writing on debit side of partners' capital accounts. If you remember this. So this is the same point. His share in deferred revenue expenditure. This is also mentioned on asset side of a balance sheet. This will be applied practically in sum and it will be clear then. His share in the old goodwill. You know this very well. Old value of goodwill appears in an old balance sheet and it is always debited to all partners' capital accounts. So similarly, it will be also debited to deceased partner's capital account. Then his drawings, interest on drawings, these two things are also to be debited. Lastly, his share in the loss that may have occurred till the date of his death from the last balance sheet. Just like we are supposed to pay him the share in profit till the date of his death, similarly an amount of loss is to be debited to his capital account on the basis of the last balance sheet. Okay. So these are all the points that we are going to apply in the long sums that we are going to start from the next lecture, and these sums are about the death of a partner, not retirement. You should please not worry in case if you failed to understand several points here. You will definitely understand them when we'll be solving a long sum. Yes? Fine then, let us see what is the next topic. Yeah, they say the above adjustments are made in the capital account of the deceased partner and thereafter the balance of the capital account is transferred to his executor's account. And here is the journal entry for the same. Now obviously, just because there is no existence of a particular partner who meets death, the amount is to be transferred to deceased partner's executor's account. Executor, as I said, is a person who will carry out the legal procedure of a will. Yes? So, the theory concepts that we have understood till now, the effects for the same are to be given in the capital account of the deceased partner is what they say here. And then the amount is to be transferred to deceased partner's executor's account and the journal entry is also given here. Journal entry is not a part of your question anywhere, but it is important to understand. The next topic says profit share to the deceased partner. He is entitled to receive his share in profit of the firm from the beginning of the year to the date of death. We have understood this. If he dies during the year before year ends, obviously, right, because there was no notice before the death took place. Yeah, so they say if the partner dies during the year before year ends, where does the accounting year usually end? 31st March. Yes. So during that year in between, if a partner meets death, his share in profit is calculated without calculating the profit for the year of death. Therefore, his share in profit from the beginning of the year till the date of death is calculated on the basis of the past profit or sales as follows. They have presented 3 points for this calculation. First one, on the basis of last year's profit. Then, on the basis of average profit of past few years. Third, on the basis of previous year's sales and profit. There are 3 options available. You will be clearly instructed in the given sum that how you are supposed to deal with the amount of profit to be paid till the date of death of a partner. Yes, one of these 3. Below they have given an example which is not that important to study. It will be clear obviously when we are going to do the long sum regarding death. So I'm not considering this example for now. Yes, here is the main thing now. Deceased partner's capital account. The most important thing. You should pay attention. Now the theory concepts that we have learned, I mean the one which we have understood today, are to be applied in this particular account. This is the specimen of deceased partner's capital account. This is how you are going to prepare in the practical sums. Yes, we'll start from the debit side. Now all the concepts of debit side that we have understood here are to be written on debit side of this ledger account that we have prepared for deceased partner. You can see the very first thing, the debit balance of current account, the share in loss, that is to revaluation account, which is simply the loss on revaluation. Alright. Then to profit and loss account, this is accumulated loss. This is the loss that you write off in an old ratio. This is given in your question in balance sheet and on asset side. Okay? You should listen to me carefully because all these points are going to be applied in the next long sum that we are going to start in the next lecture. So I request you all to revise this lecture at least twice before we start with the next lecture. Then we have to goodwill account. This is the old value of goodwill again given in an old balance sheet. Then to drawings account, interest on drawings. This is all going to be provided in the question. Drawings of course is deducted from partner's capital. Also interest on drawings. If you remember this point, in final accounts we are doing this. Even in standard 11th, while we were doing final accounts of sole proprietor, we used to deduct the amount of drawings as well as interest on drawings from the balance of capital. Yes, that is the reason that drawings and interest on drawings has been written on debit side of deceased partner's capital account. Then to advertisement campaign expenditure. Of course, this is not a new thing. This is also given in balance sheet and on asset side. This is to be distributed among all partners in their old ratio. If you remember, we have solved this in previous sums. So here in this account, you are only going to write about the person who meets death or say a deceased partner, his share only. Then we have to profit and loss suspense account. This is share in loss till the date of death. This is the last point that we have studied here. Here, if you can see on your screen, the last point here that I have explained. We'll understand this practically in long sums. Fine then, talking about the credit side. On credit side, we are going to write down all the balances that we have studied here. Yes? The 8 points that we have understood. Okay. The very first thing on credit side, it is by balance brought down. This is the amount of capital, the opening balance of capital of a partner. This is provided to you in an old balance sheet in the given question. Then the credit balance of current account, if any. By reserve account, this could be general reserve. Then by profit and loss account, this is the amount given in an old balance sheet on liabilities side. Usually you credit this, not usually, every time you credit this amount in partners' capital accounts, if you remember, of which the share of only deceased partner is to be written in this account. If I'll explain this in simple words, this is partners' capital account only. Yes, we used to prepare capital accounts of 3 partners together. Here we are preparing only for a single partner. This is the only difference. Yes, we were preparing revaluation account, partners' capital accounts, cash and bank and balance sheet, of which partners' capital accounts, if you prepare for a single partner, is similar to deceased partner's capital account, I can say. You have only split this account. Then further, by other partners' capital account, this is share in goodwill. The journal entry that you write down for the adjustment of goodwill, if you remember. Yes, so this is the posting for that. The amount payable to the retiring partner. Here is the amount payable to deceased partner. So the partner who is going to pay, his name is to be mentioned on credit side of deceased partner's capital account. Then by interest on capital account, of course the interest on capital is given by the firm to the retiring partner or to the deceased partner, and which is to be credited in deceased partner's capital account. Then by salary or commission, by loan, this is the amount of loan given by deceased partner to the firm. Now the partner is no more, and hence the amount of loan is to be returned to the partner along with interest, which is mentioned below. By interest on loan account, this interest is to be calculated till the date of death. Then by profit and loss suspense account, this is the share in profit till the date of death. Of course, I have explained this concept while I was explaining theory. On debit side it is loss till date of death, and on credit side it is profit till the date of death. Alright. So this is how deceased partner's capital account is to be prepared. You should learn this, you should write this, you should understand this completely before we start with the long sum in the next lecture. Yes? So this is your homework for today. You should study the theory concepts thoroughly that I have explained. And you are supposed to write down the specimen of deceased partner's capital account once in your fair book. This is really important. If you are not aware of the specimen, it is next to impossible to prepare the ledger account in a long sum. Yes, this is the specimen that I have explained, and you are supposed to write this down in your fair book, and you should also try to learn this. Before that, you should study all the theory concepts that we have done for today. Yes? This is the new topic that we understood. Please read these concepts carefully. Study this lecture thoroughly. As I said, you should study this at least twice before we solve the long sums regarding the death of a partner. These concepts are also given in your textbook if you want to study. It is given on page number 251. And the specimen is given on page number 253 of your textbook. Alright then, I hope you were able to understand the concepts explained, and I hope you will be doing your homework and you will make good efforts to study. We'll see you all soon in the next session. Till then, stay home and study well.